Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The issue of whether Raila Amolo Odinga is in government or not is a very thorny issue. It is being discussed by both leaders and supporters from Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. It is being discussed because of the aftermath and the repercussion that is feared would follow if and when he agrees to work with William Ruto. And I think most of these people are borrowing heavily from the past records. When Raila worked with Kibaki, he worked with Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, at the center of it all is this idea that when they decided to work with Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto played victim and he claimed that he was pushed to the periphery. There is also another fear that Raila has been there speaking for the downtrodden, speaking for the weak and the minority. And there is this fear that maybe if he decides to work with William Ruto, then he shall have abandoned his cause. But I don't know. This is debatable. Gathoni Wamuchomba is a lady, one of the Iron Ladies. I think now the number of Iron Ladies are increasing. It is not only Martha Karua. Gathoni Wamuchomba has been speaking for the people who elected her. She openly rejected the Finance Bill 2023, and she said that it was not going to augur well with their people. Those who chided Gathoni Wamuchomba are now coming back to see the light. Now, this is what Gathoni is saying. It is now clearer Baba is in government through the back door. It should now be called the NADCO government. What happened to our guaranteed minimum returns and 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote quest from Mount Kenya people? Mimi bado nimekwamia hapo. This is something that she's been talking about. And this post has been trending because Gathoni is one person who does not waver. She has held this position all along, that the NADCO report should have produced something for their people. Now, if you want to understand that this is not the first time Gathoni is talking about 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote. She's been concerned about revenue allocation because Mount Kenya people have been saying that the current formula on how they are on distribution of the national vis-a-vis the county government money is not favoring them because they're saying there are many. On February 27th, this is what Gathoni said, just to show you that she's been very consistent about talking about these 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote, or how revenue should be shared. On this day, she said, "Today I appeared in the Constituency Development Committee in Parliament to defend my proposal to amend the CDF Act to introduce population as a parameter to be used in sharing resources in the constituencies. Hashtag woman for the job." So Gathoni has been saying that there are some constituencies that are scarcely populated, others are heavily populated, and she says that they should be looking at population as a parameter of sharing this revenue. It is very different from the members of parliament, for example, who voted for the Finance Bill 2023 that contained punitive taxes, and now they are making a U-turn, and they are not making a U-turn in parliament. They are not even trying to challenge it in parliament, because it is in parliament where all these are challenged. They are convening meetings, hoodwinking their people and electorates that they are concerned about them. And I remember Gathoni was telling them, tafadhali, kama umechoshwa na yale ambayo wewe mwenyewe ulipitisha, rudi kwa bunge, then you reverse the decision. But the question that one would be asking is, the 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote did not start today. It was there in the BBI when Raila and Kibaki brought it up. And I remember they brainstormed at some point. People like the current governor of Nairobi, Johnson Sakaja, wanted to draft a formula because it became a thorny issue there. But they rejected it as usual, just the same way the members of parliament from Central rejected passed the Finance Bill 2023. They rejected the BBI that would have given us a good remedy for the disease that is now ailing them. Why do you think Gathoni Wamuchomba is so much disturbed about the fact that Raila could be in government, could have formed a working formula with William Ruto? This is what I want us to look at, because why should it be about that? They should continue fighting for their rights and, of course, the rights of Kenyans, because Gathoni has been there in the front line. I want us to look at why, and why this message, and who was it intended to. As we do this, if you're watching our channel for the first time, please take a second or two and subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell and help us share videos. Kindly give this video a like so that it can be recommended to more people. To all our subscribers and all our supporters, allow me to thank you in a very special way. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling that Gathoni Wamuchomba had hoped that if Raila would have stayed independent, because according to her, she now feels that Raila is in government. And this message is coming after Kimani Ichung'wah and Kalonzo Musyoka delivered this report to the principals, William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, because this report was being debated between the Azimio One Kenya Alliance and the Kenya Kwanza One Alliance. So the leaders were Raila and William Samoei Ruto. So it was handed over to them. After that, Gathoni believes because of what has been happening, Raila is being, according to the policies, the Kenyan government is trying to also campaign for him to get that seat, the African Union Commission chairmanship. So Gathoni feels that there is no difference between this and the BBI, but she had hoped that they would continue fighting as Raila leads the fight, because that has been Raila's nature, speaking for the weak, for the minority, for the downtrodden. And I know very well that maybe she was preparing that as we approach 2027, they were going to team up and go against maybe William Ruto's policies that have been ailing them. And she's now disappointed because she feels that should Raila go and claim the AU chairmanship, then the strength is dwindling. You see, with the Raila there, it gives them an impetus. And so I thought, Gathoni wanted to be together. I know there are people like Jimmy Wanjigi. We have seen people like Alfred Keter. We have seen very many people trying to fight, but they feel that if Raila is there, then there's a lot of effort. I have a feeling that Gathoni Wamuchomba is also expressing this statement to Kimani Ichung'wah. Kimani Ichung'wah is from Mount Kenya, is from Kiambu. Now, he was the one who was appointed to be the co-chair together with Kalonzo Musyoka. Now, Gathoni feels that Kimani Ichung'wah should be thinking about the Mount Kenya people. In that NADCO report, Gathoni feels Kimani Ichung'wah should have taken his time to introduce one man, one shillings, one vote, and what she calls the minimum returns for their produces, the coffee, tea, pyrethrum, avocado, and all that. So this message is intended to Kimani Ichung'wah. He was a co-chair person, but the major things that Gathoni thought should have been spoken about are not in that report. Remember, they were at loggerheads with Kimani Ichung'wah about the housing levy, when she was telling Kimani Ichung'wah that if all these houses were intended to the slum dwellers in Kiambu County, then she would have supported it. And in a way, she's challenging Kimani Ichung'wah. Of course, Rigathi Gachagua can be excusable because he had declined to accept these kind of talks from the word go. Remember, it has been said that Uhuru Kenyatta rejected the National Dialogue Committee report because it was also stated that Kenyatta was also mentioning one man, one shillings, one vote, something that they had in the BBI. So Gathoni is expressing Kenyatta's disappointment and displeasure. Remember the other day, one person who also refused to sign this bill is Eugene Wamalwa, and Eugene Wamalwa is Ruto's person in Azimio. Eugene Wamalwa is Uhuru's person in Azimio. It is Uhuru who came up with this arrangement so that DAP was formed because there were members who felt they needed their party. So Eugene refused to sign, and many believe that he did this on behalf of Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru had rejected this report because, one, they were also saying that the cost of living was not looked at. And of course, the one man, one shilling, one vote. So for Gathoni Wamuchomba to come up with this, she is also expressing Uhuru's displeasure about this. And she's asking a very pertinent question. Where is it? I have a feeling that they should continue fighting about it with or without Raila, because sooner or soonest, Raila will exit active politics. Her questions are valid, but it should be directed to the Mount Kenya people. We wouldn't have been in this place. I just want to remind Gathoni, she was the first member of parliament to ditch Uhuru Kenyatta in 2022. Of course, now she's redeeming herself because she's now the first member of parliament to ditch William Ruto. She's principled. And I was thinking that maybe because of the pressure then, she just wanted to get into office to be elected, then start championing for what she believes in. But ladies and gentlemen, the regrets from Mount Kenya will continue as long as they don't want to wake up, because as it is only Gathoni Wamuchomba is free after decamping Ruto's camp. All those who are there still caged. They don't have the freedom to speak for themselves. That is my take.